Not one federal dollar currently goes to giving undocumented people Medicaid, and you know that. What does need to be said is that Republicans are set to kick 17 million Americans off their health insurance. Even GOP senators admitted this, and Floridians are going to suffer. Hey, AOC, how do you have $22 million now? It's so weird, isn't it? It's so weird how a congresswoman who was a freaking bartender who wants you to believe that she's like Jenny on the block or whatever. She's, Alex from the Bronx, whatever, this play that she's trying to put out there for everybody. Alex, put a sock in it, honey. 1.4 million people are going to lose. You know what? They shouldn't have broken the law to get here. Did you know, as they tell us, illegals aren't eligible for Medicaid? Doesn't mean they're not getting the benefits, obviously. Did you know that 14 states already have given illegals health care? Yeah, it's true. Let's read this from conservativeinstitute.org. A Democrat in the U.S. House of Representatives just admitted that some illegal aliens have, in fact, been getting Medicaid benefits. But wait a minute. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez just told us not one penny. Is that up there with I did not have sexual relations with that woman? Or is that up there with I never, ever talked to my son about his overseas business? Do you want to, how many of the, what difference does it make, right? Do we need to channel all of the suck Democrats who've lied to us for so many years? Of course not. So let's get this story. Breitbart News reporting. U.S. Representative Ro Khanna from California, Democrat obviously, made the admission during a recent appearance on News Nation's Cuomo. He's a hack, by the way, FYI, if you guys were worried about that. He's a hack. This, of course, is a serious admission against interest, which is why Khanna tried to spin the situation. Here's your backstory. So he's sitting there talking about President Trump's big, beautiful bill last week, which looks to put a stop to Medicaid waste and fraud. Appearing alongside Ro Khanna was U.S. Representative, a Republican, Randy Fine out of Florida. Fine noted, look, the bill cuts Medicaid for illegal immigrants. Now, if they want to say illegal immigrants should get Medicaid, they should just make that argument. At that point, host Chris Cuomo felt the need to cut in to repeat the Democrats' talking point that illegal immigrants don't get federal money. Okay, Chris, and we believe that you actually quarantined yourself during COVID and came out of your, right? Remember that when he came out from the basement and was like, oh, freedom. And we're like, you're the biggest loser ever. Yeah, that's who I'm talking about right now. Fine, however, quickly cut off and said, you know what? 1.4 million are getting Medicaid right now. Illegals. We're kicking them off. You know what? I agree with that. Do you agree that people here illegally should not be getting things that you pay for? I do. Scott Bessent hitting the road yesterday, hitting all of the Sunday shows. He's like one of the new Trump mouthpieces as the secretary, the Treasury Secretary. He's awesome. Dana Bash is one of the loudest voices against work requirements, right? You're going to get Medicaid. You should at least have to look like you're looking for work or volunteer like 20 hours a week. This is so much of an ask, and she's losing her mind over it. Listen.
Seen and heard a lot of the concern, including and especially from Republicans who are the most vocal in Congress about the fact that those work requirements are going to be very cumbersome to actually prove, and it will inevitably force the people who need that Medicaid coverage off the rolls.
Well, first of all, the Republicans are not the most vocal on this. It is a group of Democrats who unfortunately seem to think that poor people are stupid. I don't think poor people are stupid. I think they have agency, and I think to have them register twice a year for these benefits, that it is not a burden. But these people who want to infantilize the poor and those who need these Medicaid benefits are alarmist.
Yeah, but my impression of the Republican Party is that historically you wanted to cut through the red tape and not create more red tape. But I do want to move on.
Well, no. But we've also wanted to put in work requirements, which somehow was very popular under Bill Clinton, was popular under President Obama, and this Democratic Party blew out the deficit in 2020, and they never want to bring it back. But work requirements even poll well with the median Democratic voter, maybe not the fringe.
I absolutely love that you have this nerdy guy. He's not like effusive. He's not some big fireworks maker. He's a bean counting millionaire who didn't have to leave the private sector to do this job. And he's like, what you're saying is factually incorrect, and I'm going to fact check you right now. And he continues. She says, but wait a minute. Donald Trump must have lied then. He said there would be no change in benefits. And now you're making people work to get stuff? Oh, here we go. It's just 35 seconds, and it's lovely.
The president promised that there would not be changes to Medicaid benefits, and putting a work requirement is, by definition, a change to benefits.
No, there are no change in benefits. There's a change in requirements to get the benefits. And what we are doing, we are bringing back manufacturing jobs. We are bringing back working class jobs. By securing the border, we have already seen working class wages move up. So we are creating jobs. People can get off Medicaid and get a job that has good health care benefits.
Now, does that make sense to everybody out there? Work, right? How hard is this? Can we get back to this idea? She's still not listening. She says, but wait a minute. How does cutting Medicaid benefits help poor people afford stuff? Oh boy, here we go.
How is making cuts on Medicaid programs, how does that, and how it affects the people who are at the lowest ranking when it comes to income, how does that help with the affordability crisis in America?
Well, first of all, the affordability and saving Medicaid, let's separate them.